Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with yet another brew review. Today we are going back to the French stash. Of course I went to the Burgonde, the Burgundy region again, and this time I brought IPA de Vitteaux, which is the town, from Brasserie Burgonde, and this is the IPA, or as they say, le IPA. This is bière fortement houblonnée style India Pale Ale English, or strongly hopped beer India Pale Ale style English. Let's see, we have malted barley, unmalted barley, sugar, and hops and yeast. Fun story. These guys actually brew with not only barley, because they are based very far away from most maltings. So they actually use a percentage of malt and a percentage of raw grains, and that way their supply lasts a bit longer. That has some challenges, but this is a very skilled brewer who actually factor that all in, so they have a way longer mashing step, or a way longer a longer brewing step before the cooking. Apparently they used an English yeast and Bramling Cross and Fuggles hops. It should have an IBU of 45. Very well. Okay. Let's have a taste, and of course I brought the Cervoise Torix, which is another beer they have, but this is their Cervoise, their serving glass. Not much to say about the packaging. Oh, very active. A plain unbranded yellow bottle cap. Very active, but it has been standing for a while, so first off, for a pale ale, I love this color. This reminds me of a lot of classic pale ales, not necessarily the IPAs, but pale ales in general. It is extremely carbonated. So this was very close to gushing, and that also explains the huge amount of foam on there, and it is still growing, it's popping its head out. Nice, I would call this beige. This is way beyond off-white. This is a nice beige foam. Large bubbles, but when this is so active, it takes a lot of air in the bubbles as well. So I'm getting carbon dioxide, of course, but quite hoppy and quite malty as well. I get some toasted and some roasted notes, but I also get some a bit of smokiness in there. I'm not entirely sure if that's intentional or not, because I would be very surprised if they used any smoke component in this beer. But it is quite nice. Yeah, mainly carbon dioxide, hoppy, and a bit of toasty, roasty malts. Looks good, smells good. Let's have a taste. Cheers. Oh, this is quite nice. And not at all what I expected. This is way more bitter, way more dry than I expected. Of course, this is an old English IPA style, or an Old English style IPA, I should say. So this is not a New England, this is not a hazy, this is not fruity at all. But yeah, this is very bitter. This is, of course, they said 45 IBUs. Yeah, 45 IBUs. That is actually pretty high, and I kind of dismissed it unintentionally when I said it earlier. But this is way, way high. Very bitter, very dry, and I would say thirst quenching. But actually, this is immediately attacking my glands in the back of the throat and under my tongue. Giving me more thirst. So from an economic brewing standpoint, job well done. But I wouldn't call this a thirst quencher per se. Yeah, very hoppy. And also slightly herbal. Now, they didn't use herbs, and I'm, with this bitterness, very surprised that they actually added sugar, because this is only a 5% ABV, so it didn't need extra added sugar to really ferment. But like I said, it's a skilled brewer, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, quite nice. And the funny thing is that in the after flavor, it is mainly roasted malts. So either they boiled this for a hell of a time, or the mashing step was very long, but even longer than I suspected, or they actually just use roasted malts, because I am getting a bunch of like cocoa nibs and coffee in here as well. Okay, that all being said, how should I score this thing? I think it's nice. I think it's a job well done. I don't think it's that great. I have had way better from this brewery. So let's call this an even 3, because I think it's too qualitative for a 275, but I think it is not good enough, or not enough to my taste, which is a very dangerous thing to say, to give it a 3.5. So an even 3. I think it's a bit too roasty, a bit too burnt for my taste. Okay, this is gonna be a short one. I am gonna finish this behind the scenes. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to support this channel, leave a comment, share a video, buy some merch, look at the Patreon page. And if you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon, you'll get notified whenever I upload something. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.